11 cases are failures. But that's, and it's true. Most Chapter 11 cases ultimately convert to Chapter 7 and the companies are liquidated. But that is not true for large companies like this, and it's misleading for me to say that. A company like this that is, if you get rid of the debt, I mean, you guys, you people know better than I do. Would Palco and Scopac be profitable, successful companies if they didn't owe anybody $716 million? Of course. Of course they would. So the question is, you got to get rid of the debt. Most Chapter 11 cases fail because even if you got rid of the debt, management's lousy or nobody wants what they make or for a ton of reasons. That's why most business organizations fail. But if the company is a good company without the debt, Chapter 11 is a perfect tool to fix it. You fix it by getting rid of the debt and allowing the company to continue. Will creditors who don't have a dispute get paid, even without participation in the bankruptcy court? If you claim that Palco owes you money, I can't give you legal advice and I'm not your lawyer. And why do I have to say that? I have to say that because if I was your lawyer and I was giving you legal advice, I might have a conflict of interest if I went and gave somebody else legal advice. And so I can't be your lawyer. But if Palco owes you money, a couple of things will happen. One, they will send you a notice that you have been scheduled as a creditor for $100. Mr. Jones, we acknowledge we owe you $100. You don't have to do anything. They've got you listed as $100, and when creditors get paid, you'll get whatever. You may get $100, you may get 50 cents on the dollar, you'll get whatever other creditors get. If they send you a note saying, we listed you as owing you $100, but it's disputed, then you will have to have it. Then you will either have to resolve it by calling them up and talking to them about it, or you may have to go to court. But if there's no dispute, you don't have to do anything about it. Finally, if you think Palco owes you $100, but you haven't heard anything from them, keep your eyes and ears open. Check out the website from time to time. Call up Mark, because there will be a deadline for filing claims in the case. It'll be widely publicized. It'll certainly be in all the newspapers. I bet there'll be an ad on TV, but there will be a deadline for filing claims. And if you're not scheduled as a creditor, or they haven't listed, or you don't know, you don't have any information that they've identified you as a creditor, then you need to file a claim. It's a very simple one-page form. If we get to that point, we may have another one, a workshop in 6 months, how to fill out the proof of claim form, but it's very simple. Are only the trees, not the land, the security? No, the real estate is the security. All the land and the trees that are owned by Scopac are collateral for that loan. Isn't the new? I'm not allowed to call on you, but if you need a card, they'll get your card. Isn't the nearest bankruptcy court in Santa Rosa? Why might the case go to Oakland? You know what? The nearest bankruptcy court is in Santa Rosa, and I don't know the answer to that. But I do know that they've asked that the case be transferred to Oakland. I think the Oakland court has more experience with large cases. There also is a number of judges in Oakland, and it may be that the court in Santa Rosa is just too crowded. But I can't answer that question. What about severance owed to former employees? I don't know the answer to that, but I'll tell you what I think. If you were terminated or you left your employment, this is the date of the bankruptcy. If you were terminated or you left your employment before, and you were and I don't know what the terms were, but perhaps they said, if you're terminated, we'll pay you, you'll stay on the payroll for 6 weeks as severance pay, and the 6 weeks came to an end right here. 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, they filed for bankruptcy. You're a pre-petition creditor, and I don't know what the practice has been, but what your experience has been, but probably your checks stopped. Now, maybe they continued them, and they may be that they asked bankruptcy court for permission to continue them. But as a technical matter, your checks may have stopped, and you're a creditor for that amount. Will the bankruptcy affect pension check? It should not. If PALCO had an ERISA qualified pension plan, and you're getting payments from the plan, those payments should continue uninterrupted. PALCO, like any other company, can terminate its pension plan, but pension benefit, and there's two things to say about that. If it terminates the plan the way any other company can, all vested benefits people will continue to receive them for as long as you're entitled to. As you know, companies are shedding pension plans right now like crazy and saying, okay, we don't want to contribute to pension plans, rely on your Social Security, rely on your 401ks. Most companies can do that, and if PALCO does it, vested benefits will continue to be paid, and that'll be it. There's a possibility that they could terminate the plan in a way that would cut benefits, but that's not likely. And I'm just going to finish at this point, and that's because under the pension laws, all members, all affiliated companies are responsible to pay the pension. So if you have a pension with Pacific Lumber, with PALCO, and they run out of money and they can't pay, or they don't, or their plan, all affiliated companies are liable, including Maxim. So it doesn't do them any good to get out of that pension liability. Now, having said that, this is a very complicated area of the law. I can't predict the future, but they haven't made any noise to date about doing to the pension plan what United Airlines and other companies have done. They haven't made any noise about that to date. So I think that's not in the cards right now. And certainly, pension benefits will continue for the foreseeable future. And that's my last question, and now we got a 15-minute break.
Not yet.
We almost have a 15-minute break.
Thank you, Peter. Excellent questions have been coming in, and we've got a lot more good questions, more specific, that we're going to address in the second half. Peter mentioned the website. It's listed over here, but there's also these little things. The Alliance for Sustainable Jobs and Environment put together a website. Nadia has them over here at the tables. They're also on the back of your brochure, your program. And we've listed all the legal documents that we've been able to get our hands on are up on that website, so you can actually see the different motions that have been filed, that kind of thing. We've also been putting the media coverage. And we're talking with Peter about doing something in the future where you could possibly, if we could make this work, submit questions online that he could answer, not as your lawyer, but general information.